It's easy to glance at Danny Hodge's resume and be impressed. NCAA champion, Olympian, wrestling legend. But reading his accolades isn't the same as understanding what made him different. This was a man who could crush an apple with one hand. Not metaphorically, but literally. Also, he could rip a phone book in half like it was junk mail. And here's the kicker. Danny Hodge weighed 170 pounds. He wasn't some heavyweight freak of nature. He was just built different. And he didn't stop at 25 or 40. He was still doing that apple trick at 70 years old. Today, the most prestigious award in college wrestling is named after him, the Hodge Trophy. That's not just an honor, that's a clue. Because a lot of people believe Danny Hodge was the greatest American wrestler of all time. He competed in the Olympics before he could legally drink. It didn't matter who he faced, man or monster, Hodge believed he could out-tough anything that stood in front of him. And honestly, he usually did. With that said, this is the story of one of the toughest men ever to live. This is the story of Danny Hodge. What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Lou2Sick back in the lab with another fire upload for you. This time we're gonna do a combat biography video, and hey, we're gonna focus on the world of wrestling, taking it back and focusing on the life of the one Danny Hodge. Y'all know what we do on this channel, covering everything related to combat sports, from professional wrestling to boxing and MMA. Hey, we're working on so much for you guys, so real quick, click a like on the video. Let's get it popping in the algorithm. If you haven't, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Hey, we're working on a lot for you guys because we're creating a little community. One, based on the one thing that we love most. Y'all know what it is.
Violence.
With that said, here is the story of Danny Hodge. It's your boy Lou2Sick. Keep your hands up. Danny Hodge was born in Perry, Oklahoma in 1932. He grew up poor in a household full of abuse and instability. By the time he was a teenager, he learned how to fight. Not just as a sport, but as a way of surviving. So, wrestling came naturally. Hodge was explosive, technical, and just flat out stronger than everyone he faced. By 19, he was already representing the United States at the 1952 Olympics. He didn't medal that year, he finished 5th. But that alone made it clear, this kid was different. After the Olympics, Hodge returned to the US, and he enrolled in the University of Oklahoma. He couldn't wrestle his freshman year due to eligibility rules, but once he was allowed to compete, he destroyed everyone. From 1955 to 1957, Danny Hodge won 3 straight NCAA national titles. He went 46-0, was never taken down once, and pinned 80% of his opponents. In his senior year, he pinned 23 guys in a row. You see, that level of dominance is unheard of. You see, today the award for the best wrestler, the best college wrestler in the country, well, that's called the Hodge Trophy. It's basically the Heisman for wrestling. You see, that's how much of a big deal Danny Hodge was. In 1956, Hodge went back to the Olympics, this time as the favorite to win gold. And he was doing just that, up 8-1 in one of his matches until he made a split-second mistake. He got caught up and pinned, and just like that, his Olympic dreams were over. It was a brutal loss, and he never competed in the Olympics again. In 1960, Hodge wanted to return to the Olympics again, but because of rules banning professional athletes, Hodge was therefore ineligible. Now, he needed to make some money. With wrestling no longer an option, Hodge turned to boxing. He picked up the sport fast too. As an amateur, he won national titles and made it to the Golden Glove finals at Madison Square Garden, where he fought a brutal match in front of 12,000 people. He won and immediately turned pro. Yeah, he wasn't technically the best boxer, he was just the best in shape. The worst part was, he was a good guy in one of the world's most shadiest sports. Hodge fought 10 professional fights and never got paid for a single one. Disillusioned and broke, he walked away from boxing entirely and would enter a new field, professional wrestling. In 1959, Danny Hodge made his debut in professional wrestling, trained by legends like Leroy McGurk and Ed Strangler Lewis. He quickly became a star in Mid-South Wrestling, a territory that prioritized real wrestling over entertainment. Within a year, he was the NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion, and he held that title 8 times over the course of his 17-year pro wrestling career. But he wasn't your typical wrestling star. He was quiet, humble, and old school. Still, people loved him for what he was, a true wrestler in a world of characters. Despite his low-key personality, Hodge became a locker room legend. He once even wrestled a live bear and won. Sounds crazy, right? But let me tell you, he did that shit. In that match, he got behind a bear and squeezed it so hard with his legs that the bear panicked. Let that sink in. He made a bear tap out. You see, Hodge wasn't just respected by fans, he was feared by other legends. The Briscoes, the Funks, Eddie Graham, all of them respected his toughness and wanted to test themselves. Japanese wrestler Hiro Matsuda once paid $10,000 to learn every wrestling hold from Karl Gotch. He then gave it a go on Danny Hodge, and after 5 minutes, he said, "I wasted my money." By the mid-1970s, Hodge was still wrestling, still in great shape, and still working full-time. But in 1976, everything changed. Driving home after a match, Hodge fell asleep at the wheel. His car swerved off a bridge and crashed into a lake. He broke his neck, his teeth were shattered, but somehow he survived. Unfortunately though, that crash ended his wrestling career. Yeah, y'all, he held his own neck in place to stay alive. That alone should tell you how tough Danny Hodge is. And if you thought that was going to be the end of him, well, you were wrong. After the car crash ended his in-ring career in 1976, Danny Hodge never stopped being a symbol of toughness and integrity. He returned to Perry, Oklahoma, where he stayed grounded and deeply involved in his community.
You know, we all have the opportunity and privilege to build strong character and good bodies in our kids.
He worked with the State Athletic Commission, mentored young wrestlers, and was a regular presence at amateur wrestling events well into his later years.
Kids go out and wrestle and they come back, "Mr. Hodge, it works." Duh. I show you something that won't work.
Despite the injuries, Hodge remained impressively strong, famously still being able to crush apples with one hand well into his 70s, and he would make the rare appearance at a wrestling show just to do so. Throughout all the success and notoriety, Danny's humility never faded, and neither did the respect he commanded. When he passed away in December of 2020 at the age of 88, tributes poured in from Olympic champions, wrestling legends, and fans across generations. You see, he wasn't just remembered, he was revered. Danny Hodge was never in the spotlight like a Hulk Hogan or a Ric Flair, but for real athletes, real fans, real wrestlers, he was a god. He went undefeated in college. He was never taken down. He boxed professionally and won the Golden Gloves. He even wrestled bears. He built a legacy through authenticity, power, and pure grit. And through it all, he stayed humble. No ego, no gimmicks, just grit, just hard work, and results. Today, the most prestigious award in college wrestling still carries his name, the Hodge Trophy. It's not just a tribute, it's a reminder. Danny Hodge set the bar. And as the years go by, his story matters even more. Because legends like him don't just inspire, they teach. And the next generation needs to know what greatness really looked like. Alright y'all, that is our video for today, the life of Danny Hodge. I hope you guys liked it. Hey, let me know what you guys think. We can continue the conversation going in the comments. Click a like on this video. Let's get it popping in the algorithm so the rest of the world can learn about Mr. Hodge. If you haven't, subscribe to the channel. We're working on so much more for you. Hey, everything from boxing videos, MMA videos, wrestling videos, news recaps, reactions, and so much more. Just make sure you're tuning in, and of course, keep those hands up.